So this is a bathhouse for Masada.
You have seen a theater, you have seen them all, remember? You have seen the Roman bathhouse, you have seen them all. So of course there's different, some bigger and some smaller. But they have a minimum. The minimum will be first a courtyard, usually. What for? The atrium in Latin, that's the atrium. There will be of course a colonnade, so here will be in the shade, that will be in the open, with beautiful mosaic on the floor. Come closer guys, I don't want another group coming in the middle, and then we'll be separated. So, the atrium is a place where you do some gymnastics. You sweat a little bit, that will open the pores. A very, very good preparation before going to the bathhouse. So that's where you do a little bit exercise here. Atrium in Latin. From the atrium you go into the changing room. It's called apoditerium, where you change. You remove your clothes, and what you take instead? Nothing. Remove your clothes. Yes, you take instead some wooden clogs. Wooden clogs. Guys. Not only they are. We are the one who suffered in the line.
We did. We suffered badly.
So they should clap hand for us. Okay. So guys, the changing room. You remove your clothes, but you take wooden clogs. Why that? You will understand in a moment. From the changing room, you go into a series of 3 rooms. In the middle, it's called the tepidarium. Tepid, not hot, not cold. Tepid. From one side, you have the cold room, and the second side, you have the cold room. Cold, frigidarium. Hot room, caldarium. Remember the names. It's not. I'm not just telling you that I know Latin. At the airport, they will ask you questions. Remember, what is the name of the middle room in the bathhouse in Masada? You don't know? Go back to Masada and learn. Okay. So let's go in. I give you the explanation outside because we cannot stop inside. So as we move inside, we start by the changing room. Remember what I told you about the painting on the walls to look like marble. Here, it's better preserved. Can you see there? And imagine 2,000 years it was all shiny and vivid colors. Even now we can see that, the difference. So it looked like marble, slabs of marble of many colors, but it's just painting. We call them fresco. Fresco because Latin means, Spanish fresco means fresh. They painted on the fresh plaster. So the pigments go into the plaster and become one. It's very important in a bathhouse where you have humidity. If you paint normally on a wall, it will scale off. We have that at home ourselves. So that has lasted 2,000 years, just to give you an idea. Good quality. So as from the changing room, you come to the tepidarium, the middle one. You can go to the cold room, which is a small pool of cold water, or to the hot room, here, the caldarium. Most of the people stay here. Most of the people prefer the hot steam. So what do you have the cold room for? When you are really hot, you go just bathe into the small cold water pool. But then you return to the hot room. Come inside, feel the place. I want you to
Tito, what are the, can you tell me what the...
I will tell you in a moment.
Okay.
Now, how do they get the room hot? What? How do you get the room? What? No, not sun. It's complete. Remember, it's completely sealed. Without lamps, it will be completely dark here. So a lot of lamps are used here. How do you make it hot? So you have oven, a big oven on the outside there. You see that hole there? On the outside. There, outside there are servants, and they have big bellows. So they not only they feed with air the fire, but they also push the air in the ground. Can you see these small columns? They are supporting the floor. They are 2 layers. Can you see there at the corner? That's restoration. You can see the column support an upper layer. So the people walk on the top. They did not see the columns. It just has collapsed. And now you understand the hot air circulates under the floor, so the floor is getting very hot. So when it's very hot, what do? You just take a bucket of water from the cold pool and you spill it on the ground and you get steam. It has to be really hot. And steam. And if you don't put water, you get a dry sauna. You want wet sauna? Steam. That is called the suspensura. Will you remember? Suspensura. Suspended. Make sense? No, not only the floor was hot, that's why you had wooden clog, else you would be dancing here. We have a tradition that the kibbutz dance the hora, because they were barefoot all the time, they dance all the time jumping, because in the desert the floor is so hot. Origin of Israeli dances. But again, it's very hot, so you need something to protect you. Now, not only the floor was hot, even the walls. If you see there the restoration, there are pipes. Hot air circulates also in the wall. So the walls are hot too, so you don't lean by a wall, surely. So why did they do that? Think makes sense. The water evaporates, it touches the roof, the ceiling that is colder, and then it condensates. So they make it round so you don't get rain. The water flows, the drops will flow on the side, and then they will reach the hot wall. And what will happen? Evaporate again. That means the floor remains dry. You don't slip, break your leg, or burn yourself. Everything has been calculated that way. So when you want a Roman bath in your palace, you don't ask a local architect, you show him the brochure and say, make me one. No, you bring an architect from Rome. He's a specialist. If there's something wrong, it will never work. It will lose heat, it will not work. You need a specialist, one who does only that. He doesn't build anything else. Like you invite a plumber just for plumbing, not for electricity. And so you have the maker or the builder of Roman bath. That's why they are all the same. Good technique, works very well. Today we call them what? Turkish baths and other, and they are not as good as the Roman ones. They were saving a lot of water, and they were very clever, and of course saving energy. Good? Let's continue now to the next place. So, when we are at on the other side, we'll see the area of the ovens that were the. Oh, sorry, we have the siren. We should just keep quiet. Siren. Okay.
Where's that siren located?
I think it's the siren of the site here.
Okay.
So they retransmit it on the loudspeaker here.
And then that commemorates
That's the beginning of the ceremonies all around the country for Memorial Day. At all the places of battles, at all the cemeteries and everything, you have all the families, official there. They start all at 11 o'clock. So the siren starts. You heard the siren yesterday at 8?
Oh yes.
Yeah, in Jerusalem there's many sirens, so you hear them better.
Is that commemorating 48?
No, commemorating all the fallen
Oh,
for
yeah.
all the wars of Israel.
Okay.
So we're talking about 24,000 since the independence and 4,000 victims of terrorists. Altogether, very close to 30,000. Yeah.
So it's kind of like the American Memorial Day.
It's a Memorial Day today.
November 11th.